video we're going to talk about inverse variation, also known as inverse proportion. Now, if two quantities vary inversely with one another, then as one gets larger, the other one would get smaller. As one increases, the other one decreases. It's kind of the opposite of what's happening with one, the opposite happens with the other. Okay, so if the first one goes down, the other one has to go up. For example, let's think about the time it takes to paint a house. Now, the time it would take would go down if more people were helping. So if you increase the amount of people to help paint, the time goes down. So one increases, the other goes down. Now we can write here, if two quantities X and Y vary inversely with each other, then we can say y equals k over x. So remember there was a k involved with direct proportion, whereas one goes up, the other goes up. It was just y equals kx. Inverse, it's y equals k over x, where k is the constant of proportionality or constant of variation. Constant of proportionality slash constant of variation. So that is the only difference from direct variation. Our setup equation is now y equals k over x. You still have to go find k. You still have to sub k back in to help you answer the other questions. Let's have a look at an example. Example 1. The cost per person to go on a bus trip varies inversely with the number of people traveling. So, let's highlight varies inversely. Makes sense. More people go, the cheaper it would cost. Okay, the more people, cost goes down. Increase the people, decrease the price. It varies inversely. If 25 people go on the trip, the cost per person is $18. Part A, what is the cost per person if 30 people go on the trip? Before we even do that, we have to find K. Because this is varies inverse, it's inverse proportion, let's set up our equation first. I'm going to call the cost per person C and the number of people N. So cost varies inversely with the number of people. So cost equals K over N. Let's go use this now. 25 people, the cost per person is $18. So let's sub in. So sub 25 people, N equals 25, and cost equals 18. So cost equals 18, put the 18 out the front in place of C, equals K over N is 25. What's the opposite of divide by 25? It is times. 25 times 18 equals K. K equals 450. Go and put this back up in here. We get, this is an even part. We haven't done part A. We need to find this to be able to do part A. 450 divided by N. This is our equation we are going to use for part A and B. So C equals 450 over N. In part A, it says, what is the cost? So find C when N equals 30. So when N equals 30, C equals 450. Just put it in there. Divided by 30, C equals 15. Therefore, the cost for 30 people, okay, if 30 people travel, the cost if 30 people travel is $15 per person. Very nice. Let's do part B. Part B says how many people, so find N, if the cost is C equals $11.25. So we're saying if C equals $11.25, okay, we've got C, we're putting in front of C, so 11.25 equals 450 divided by N. I'm just putting C in here, right out the front. Here, I need to times this N up first, which is N times 11.25 equals 450. What's the opposite of times by 1125? It is divide. So I've got 450 divided by 1125. And equals, that's a nice number, 40. Therefore, 40 people were on that trip. So, just like our direct variation, you always find k. You then sub k back in to get this equation here. That's very important because that helps us with part A and part B. That's it for this video. Well done.